thrifting ain't easy, unless you're watching me. Welcome back. You're watching the Thrift Store Rundown, where we bring Hollywood home on a budget. And all this week, we're talking about girly grandeur, profiling some of our favorite girlies in the pop culture universe, and finding out how their powers, whether hidden or in plain sight, belay the social media slang vibes that define the term girly these days. I mean, what's up with that? Anyway, it takes a certain amount of power for one girly to go from playing on Barney's playground, Barney and Friends, to owning a piece of the world as a multi-hyphenate superstar. There have only been a couple of instances. One of those instances belongs to the girly du jour, Selena Gomez. Barney and Friends, Wizards of Waverly Place, Only Mothers in the Building, Selena and Chef, a whole host of movies and albums, a short-lived Stars Dance tour, a high-profile relationship with another young Hollywood star that I wouldn't touch with a 4-foot fishing rod. One word, J-Lena. And yes, plenty of mental health problems that were promptly addressed and taken care of. All of this really is a testament not just to her musical ability and acting chops, and yes, her style, but really, it stems from the power of relatability. Her ability to connect with any and all Selenators, no matter how they find her, through her music or her acting or her fashion. And an extra special power we'll call DGAF, D-G-A-F. It's the power of doing what makes you happy and healthy and giving no 2 inches as to what any detractors, big or small, have to say. It certainly worked well for her, and many people are taking notice, especially the women of Clevver Media, who were so chic enough and timely enough to put together this special collector's edition magazine saluting Selena Gomez, retailing on the marketplace for $6.99. This was just one of 2 magazines that Clevver Media published in their brief foray into print business. The first one being a tribute to One Direction, which I got off of Amazon and will link downstairs if you want to see that review. But with more on this special collector's edition saluting Selena, here is Clevver's very own Jocelyn Davis.
Being dubbed a collector's edition, the magazine gives you an in-depth look at all things SG. We're talking fashion do's and don'ts, how to rock star style just like Selena's, and we're even delving into dating and what life on the Stars Dance Tour is like behind the scenes. So basically, if you love Selena, then you're gonna love the newest issue of the Clevver magazine.
If you don't know this about me, you probably should have. Then again, you may not have watched that One Direction magazine review, which again will be linked downstairs. I was a huge Clevverette, a big-time Clevver fan. So, let me reintroduce you to the women of the Clevver hyperbolic universe. And I say that because all these ladies made a living blessing over Selena Gomez and any other celebrity that they profiled over the years. These 2 are my favorites, the founding co-hosts of the original Clevver TV, Jocelyn Davis and Dana Ward. Got a question? Jocelyn's probably got the answer, and she'll give it to you like a best friend. Fun fact, the first Clevver TV story I ever watched when I was a kid was a rumored Stretch Armstrong movie in the works at Universal, with Taylor Lautner playing the title role and going shirtless. Go fig. And whether it's gossip or straight-up news, this Chicago native, Dana Ward, breaks it down with a smile and style. And they're not the only ones. Here are the other 4 go-to experts in the Clevver crew. For Clevver News, representing Young Hollywood News, Deidre Behar and Katie Krause, co-creators and founding co-hosts of the flagship news program, The Daily Hollywood Rundown. It's a 10 to 15 minute entertainment news program. For Clevver Movies, this is Erin White, aka Erin Robinson, which is her married name. Yes, a married name. Hate to be the bearer of bad news if you had a crush on this hot redhead at the time you watched Clevver Movies, but that's just how it is. And over at Clevver Music, we got Misty Kingma. By the way, Erin and Misty were Deidre and Katie's successors in hosting DHR, and the most sick successors in that show's history. Aaron and Misty, we used to call them Steve. But how did they do this time in the magazine business? Let's find out as we take a look at Selena's 7 secrets for success that you can adapt in your own life to give yourself a special kind of power to take on the world. Dive headfirst towards what you want, even in the spotlight. Be sure to stay humble. Love will remember, and in this case it's love for family and friends. Live like there's no tomorrow. Slow down and keep friendship first. Who says you can't stay positive? Instead of bashing Selena, just focus on the positive aspects of that relationship and move on to create new ones and a new courtship. And finally, giving back comes naturally. Give of your time, effort, attention, or your money to charitable causes to help out your fellow man or woman. Because this is admittedly very fall fashion forward, I decided to highlight at least one lookbook out of this 4-tier lookbook here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would be, take a guess. You got it. First date. And in short, keep it cute yet casual. With these items you can find online, prices, websites, and all. And I guarantee you, when adjusted for inflation, you might want to search another lookbook. But hey, it's the thought that counts. Especially for Betty Blanco now, because he's just one step away from claiming Selena hook, line, and sinker forever. Getting engaged is just one step forward. You gotta walk down that altar if you want to make it legit. I don't have a crush on Selena Gomez per se, but I do respect her. I think she's mighty talented, smoking hot, yes. And by the way, Selena was actually the first name of my very first crush, if you can believe that. This really is all about the ladies of Clevver TV. And it's not just Dana and Jocelyn and all the rest. It's also Clevver TV, their Spanish language YouTube channel, with Vivian Fabiola and Miriam Issa. All together, they make up the one-stop shop for the latest celebrity news, with live music performances, exclusive interviews, red carpet coverage, and more every day. Or at least they used to. Now all of their channels are dormant, and they no longer make any new content for them. It's a shame, really. For Clevver Movies, Aaron Wright breaks down some of Selena Gomez's roles, like in the then new action thriller Getaway with Ethan Hawke, and of course, roles in Hotel Transylvania, Monte Carlo, Ramona and Beezus, Horton Hears a Who, and, yes, Spring Breakers, alongside Vanessa Hudgens, James Franco, and yes, Ashley Benson of Pretty Little Liars. I don't need to mention that Clevver TV, especially Clevver News, were textbook PLL Army cadets. They adored Pretty Little Liars and had plenty of PLL coverage to spare and then some, stemming from the TV show announcement all the way to the divisive series finale. Moving forward to daily updates on all of your favorite celebrities. That is, if you want a piece of nostalgia that probably may never come back again. I sure do hope they will come back in some form or another, because I really did admire how they structured all their stories. It's as if they were talking to a fellow fan about their favorite celebs. That definitely was the case with Little Mix, Ross Lynch of R5 and Austin and Ally, Victoria Justice, Selena's then boyfriend Justin Bieber, Demi Lovato, one of Selena's besties as they say, Joe Jonas, and oh yes, my Aria Montgomery, Lucy Hale. Did I tell you they were near licensed Pretty Little Liars correspondents? I so miss those days. Do you? Were you a Cleverette, as they called us back then? Let me know. And hello, Misty King, Clevver Music. Probably the hottest chick in the game, as Betty Blanco would say, to rock a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses. She also did a halfway decent Taylor Swift impersonation for the Clevver magazine celebrating Selena Gomez. And I said halfway decent. They had to wear a face mask with Taylor Swift on it. Isn't that kind of cheating? Anyway, again, it's all about that Clevver nostalgia for me. And for you Selenators out there, if this isn't providing enough nostalgia for you, then maybe you ought to turn to Clevver News to get those facts straight. Dieter Behar and Katie Krause. These two, by the way, unceremoniously graduated from Clevver News, as we'll say, and are now Emmy Award-winning producers and correspondents for Entertainment Tonight, Deidre, and Extra, Katie. They even worked together on ET at one point, which, as you know, is the standard bearer for Entertainment News. I so do love them. Anyway, here are Selena's charitable ties, working with UNICEF, the Ryan Seacrest Foundation, the DoSomething.org Foundation, and One Fund Boston, formed after the Boston Marathon bombing. And here we have 6 of Jaylena's most romantic moments. One favorite story of mine from Jocelyn was a report on Jaylena renting out the Staples Center in LA for a Titanic movie date night. Titanic on the big screen, with a pasta and steak dinner. It was actually Justin renting out LA Staples Center as a token of thanks for selling that place out a few times during his concerts. That's as far as I'll go on this, but we got a Selena Gomez quiz. We got a guide to finding the right suitor for Selena. Plenty of fall fashion, and plenty of facts you know and probably don't know about Selena Marie Gomez. Named after Selena Quintanilla Perez, mind you. It's definitely getting an excellent 5 out of 5 clap rating. By the way, I don't do a lot of special thank yous, but this one is certainly due to my friend Lee Lanzini of We Make You Laugh Films on YouTube. He found this on eBay, originally priced at $40. He bargained it down $10 to $30 and mailed this to me for my birthday. So now I own both Clevver magazines. Oy, the stars were certainly dancing in this one, and Clevver was definitely an expert choreographer. But really, all of this was made possible by Lee Lanzini. Dude, your links are below. I thank you not only for being patient, but for really making this clever and go back to a time where being clever was a way of life. And I know, now I'm talking borderline hyperbolic again. But you know what? I learned from the best. That's the Clevver Magazine Selena Gomez Special Collector's Edition. Here's what's on deck for Thursday. It's a forever charming thought to know that when it's 5 o'clock somewhere, there will be a book of saddles to be found somewhere. And in that book will be plenty more stories just waiting to be told. Thanks for tuning in. Just so you know, there's no limit to bringing Hollywood home on a budget. Please go ahead and check out another awesome review like this one by clicking here, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here. Until next time, I'll catch you, as I always do, on the flip side.